For example, there is a story of a gentleman, member of our audience, after our first show 10 years ago. He said, I was like reborn. Next day, he said, my manager, I was working wonderfully, everything was easy for me. And his boss said, what happened to you? Did you get married or you won lottery? You completely, your mood has changed. He said, now I have my own theater, so I feed my energy and batteries in something that is so wonderful to him. So just a couple of those stories that sometimes make me really proud that I'm involved with such a great group of people and doing something that in some ways, maybe small steps, affects other people and change their lives.
Déjà, les groupes ethnoculturels à relever leurs défis d'intégration parce que ça permet à ce groupe de s'exprimer, de montrer.
The art helps the ethnocultural group tackle their integration challenges because it gives them the chance to express themselves, to show, once they've been recognized by the majority, their talents, how they can bring a positive contribution to show Canadians how these contribution is needed in their business, their theater, cinema, parties, etc. So the art contributes very much to the acceptation of the ethnocultural groups. And also, the art helps them familiarize themselves with how the Canadian society works.
I believe in any program or projects done in art or in an office or in the factory, that you need to have kind of several elements or ingredients besides the skills and talents. And that is to listen to your community and respond to their needs in many ways. That is kind of respecting the needs of community and being sensitive to their needs. Also, what is important is to be able to set objectives according to those needs. Another very important element is passion for what you do and passion for sharing with other people, because theater and culture is a way of communicating, of communication, is constant dialogue with other people.
The challenges that must be addressed to permit the ethnocultural group to keep on existing, to keep on financing their activity and developing their services is first and foremost, and even before talking about money, and we do talk a lot about money, is organization. I believe that the ethnocultural group have a lot of problem to bring their resources together. We say that strength comes from unity, but in the real world, it is in a very concrete fashion, it is easier said than done. That is the main challenge. There is help, there is support, but there is also a lot of organization. So I would say that the first challenge is organization, which is the weakness of ethnocultural group. Second, it is to identify the sources for funding and support. It could be material, moral, professional, or financial. So get together, organize, and identify funding stream. This can be done through programs that already exist. But the number one factor will always be to be united in these organizations. so that their partners and funders will be motivated to help them make their program a reality.
You need to have a very strong, devoted, skillful board members first. You know, board members are volunteers. Without the support, we won't have this agency, we won't have all the programs go running. So board members, devoted, and the staff as well, and volunteers. Volunteers are our very strong support team for us because we're a very new agency. We don't have full-time staff. We rely on volunteers a lot. So another experience we like to share with the other agencies is you know, try to reach out the agencies or the government departments, the clients, as much as you can. You know, let people know, promote yourself. Try all the opportunities. Let people know you, founder know you, community members know you, and the community agencies know you. Eventually, you will get support and help from them. And once you do a good job, then they will know you, they will help you.
J'ai reçu un ancien artiste, musicien, un grand.
I would like to give an example. I've met an ex-musician, a great musician from an African country, who was still working a cleaning job because he didn't know how the system worked. It was difficult for him. The doors were all closed. When I met with him, I showed him the rope, showed him how it worked, hooked him up with networks of Francophone artists and musicians, and this man today regained his love for his art. And today, he has a record out. So it gave him a chance, through his art, to integrate his new country, to find out how it works.
Je veux exprimer ici parfois le vœu de financement qu'ils ont la difficulté à trouver, pratiquement le même.
I would like to express the concern artists have with the difficulty to raise financing. The language and formulation of grant applications, that is very difficult for them. And because they are artists, most of them are doing other things. They work in other fields, some are students, and most of them, they can't make a living of their art. Maybe as a society, we could decide to give a little more support to our artists, more encouragement, create programs to pair upcoming artists with one that are already established. Maybe internship program, so that new artists could have a chance to understand the nuts and bolts of the business, how it works behind a great artist, because it is a very big machine behind these artists.
We learned that there are a lot of artists from different cultures, from different countries as well, and they need a place to showcase. They need an agency to get them together. Just sometimes sharing information, sometimes make friends, make connection. So we are so happy that we have this agency, have this place, Art Flow Gallery, to provide them a place for them to get together to showcase their, like I said, achievements, artworks.
Ce qui est important à retenir, donc, quand les groupes ethnoculturels sont autour et puis...
It is important to remember when ethnocultural groups get together around artistic activity is, in my sense, the idea of sharing. This idea of sharing is central in the fact that it gives the chance for each group, while keeping their own identity, to bring a personal touch, a unique vision around the table. Bringing together all these single parts around a common goal, this multiculturalism gives each group the chance to put itself forward, but all together, in a unique motion. And that is the beauty of this trend. Unique and different, but together.
I wouldn't like to say that our theater exists as enclave and you know, like segregated part. We do not want that, and the audience doesn't feel that we are really creating some kind of ghetto only for community that speaks that language. We have so many people who do not belong to Serbian community who participate in our activities, who come to see us. We have artists who are Canadian born or artists from immigrants from other cultures like from India or from Guatemala participating in our place. All our technicians when we do shows are Canadian, French or English Canadians, so it's kind of larger community. And
we have a group of senior artists. They are 70s, 80s. They've been working on the culture, you know, volunteering the hours and the time and energy on community arts. We're so proud that we can have this place and opportunities for them to show what they have and what can they contribute to the groups that want to come to here to learn, you know, paintings and calligraphy, all those, and crafts as well. So they feel like before they felt their life was over. You know, 70s, 80s artists who cannot speak English that well. But because of the programs we're providing for the community members, now all their skills, their talents can be used again. So they feel so happy that they can again contribute to the community.
Les défis que doivent relever les groupes pour permettre à leur programme artistique et à bien d'autres programmes d'exister, moi je dirais...
The challenges that the ethnocultural group must face to keep their artistic program running, I would say, is the capacity to reinvent themselves, to transform themselves often. Maybe some can sleep under their shining star after 2 or 3 good gigs and say to themselves that people will keep on liking what they do. But I think that art is like everything else and that it is dynamic, that it must always reinvent itself, bring new ideas, open new ways, try new things. And also, we must not forget the financial support that must accompany this movement. Be cautious of our governments that have a tendency to cut funding to certain aspects of the arts, and maybe try new ways that haven't been explored to give the arts its rightful place.
so I believe that art provides opportunity for changes if we want to pay attention to it. Because every art aspires to express our dreams for better life, our the ways of dealing with problems, and in that endeavor, art provides kind of harmony that sometimes we are not able to see in everyday life, but it exists. When you, for example, create a play on cultural shock for immigrants, they could see that, oh, I am not alone. My broken English or broken French is not the obstacle, but it could be only challenge to do more and express my values and skills in a different way. Or when you organize exhibit of the paintings of the newcomers, you show them that there is audience who appreciate what you do.
Alors donc ils ont des artistes qui sont d'origine burundaise.
They are artists that are from Burundi origin. They are drum players or hip-hop artists, youth that are very dynamic. These youth have created a new Burundi-Canadian culture, and it is from these emerging creations that we have received them on our radio show and giving them airtime. The feedback was very positive. The public wanted to know more, what they were doing, where they were playing. It gave an identity, a uniqueness to this community that otherwise would have passed unnoticed.
We consider that culture and art are part of building decent society, meaning that everyone has equal rights to express themselves. So for Serbian community, art is not like luxury